application which you will be using. In that application, you will be getting both live and recorded session. So this will be live session, and then it will be automatically saved in your folder, and you can access it in your recorded lectures. And meanwhile, we will keep on arranging everything as per your need in your folders. So currently you can see there are few videos which you can access there. And meanwhile, as the new batch starts, as the new videos come, they will be appearing like in a folder. It will be in a bracket, it will be written new videos. So there will be old videos for your reference also, and there will be new videos which we will be conducting live here, and that you can see also. In our old videos, generally we were speaking mostly in Hindi, because in the classroom also the students are preferring, even in the Assam state also, they prefer Hindi mostly. So pure English, they will try to avoid the pure English classes, and that is how they are in Hindi, but you can access those also. From now onwards, we will try to speak 75% to 80% English, and if there are certain terms which come in which are better explained in Hindi, then we will also use that language also, especially for Northeast students. And today we will discuss everything about it. So this was the basic information, and what we are going to discuss today is of high importance for you as a civil services aspirant. So if you have seen the syllabus of Meghalaya PSC or any other PSC in Northeast, what they have done, Meghalaya PSC, Arunachal Pradesh, Assam, Manipur, they all have copied the syllabus of UPSC exam. So what is going to be the basic difference between UPSC syllabus as well as the state PCS syllabus, in which they have copied the direct syllabus of UPSC. So what is the basic difference? First I will tell you how many states, roughly. First we will talk about all these basic things. How many states are conducting their state PCS exam, state PCS civil services exam on the lines of UPSC. For example, in Northeast, you will see this pattern, similar pattern in almost all the exams of Northeast. And then in, I think in northern side, Jammu Kashmir, JKPSC is also conducting their exam based on UPSC pattern. So these are some states in which the examination pattern, their state PCS examination pattern is similar to UPSC. I mean, almost 100% similar to UPSC. So why they conduct their exams on the lines of UPSC? Why? Because they feel that whenever you are applying for civil services exam, being it a UPSC exam or a state PCS exam, the basic nature of the services is same. So the candidate must be tested according to a standardized criteria through PT, mains and interview exam. So I think because of they feel that the student should be tested as per the UPSC criteria, that is why they have implemented this kind of syllabus in their syllabus or exam pattern in their state PCS also. So why? Because they wanted to test the students on the same lines as UPSC does, test on the same pattern. Why this test? Why this test? Now coming to understand why this test is happening. This test is happening only to check whether you are possessing certain kind of traits. Traits means features, whether you are possessing certain kind of traits which is required for this job. Every job requires some kind of traits, inherent properties. For example, banking exam will require speed and accuracy. Speed and accuracy. So whenever you are going to prepare for banking exam, you need to have, you need to develop some kind of speed, some kind of accuracy. So while preparing, you need to develop these peculiar kind of features. And whenever you are preparing for this defense exam, then again you will be having certain kind of difference. And while preparing for civil services exam, there is again certain kind of difference. So they want to check whether a student, whether an aspirant is having those kind of inherent traits in them or not. And we will later discuss what kind of traits they are seeking for, because today's session is about all this kind of information, basic information which you should be having before starting the preparation. Because simply just starting the preparation and studying about history, geography, polity All this makes no sense if you don't have the idea or a clear-cut mindset why you want to join this service. If you are clear in your mind why you want to join the service, then half of the job is already done. Most of the students, they keep on attempting 5 attempts, 4 attempts, but still they couldn't qualify for the prelims exam only because they don't have such kind of grit, they don't have such kind of feeling or a clarity of mind that why they are coming to appear for UPSC exam or state PCS exam. So you should have a clarity that are you suitable for this job or not. If you are not having those kind of traits, then try to develop those kind of traits which are required for this exam. For example, if you are having certain kind of disability or certain kind of physical weakness, then you cannot opt for defense exam. They allow in certain services, some physically challenged students also in certain services, but not everywhere. You cannot be a combat ready person. If you have certain kind of physical weakness or disability or challenge, so you cannot compete for this exam. And similarly, for civil services exam, you need to have certain kind of basic traits or some certain kind of analytical things, which I will discuss here. And if you don't have those kind of qualities, then we will try to develop, because we can acquire those kind of qualities or a skill. So this was the first basic thing, that 2 things we learned, that why they are putting this kind of syllabus, because they want to test the students on the similar lines of UPSC, because they feel that UPSC has a better everything like this. So now why UPSC conducts the exam in 3 stages? Then another question is here. First basic things. Why UPSC conducts exam in 3 stages? And what do they test in these 3 stages? Conducts exam in 3 stages. In 1970s, there was a committee and its name was Kothari Committee. So they did some kind of research on what kind of persons are eligible for civil services job. They did some kind of research, homework, or some kind of questionnaire they asked colleges. Everywhere they put some kind of their research methodology, and they came to a conclusion that in order to check the eligibility of a person to become a civil servant, there should be an exam, and this exam should be testing 3 things in that person. And those 3 things are tested in 3 stages. So the recommendation of this Kothari Committee was that any civil services exam in the country, whether it is UPSC or a state PCS, it should be conducted in 3 stages. And that is why we are witnessing that Prelims Mains exam and personality test. So these 3 stages are common in all the exams, whether it is UPSC or a state civil services exam, in every state, everywhere. So these 3 stages are a common thing between UPSC and state PCS. Why? Because the Kothari Committee recommended, and the government at that time accepted their recommendation that this is okay. This is a better way of judging a person, testing a person whether he is suitable for the civil services job or not. And how this is done. So let's see what these 3 stages. Now we are coming to the second question. First was basic intro. Second thing we are discussing here, that what kind of things are tested in these 3 stages of exam. So here, what is tested? Means they are putting some kind of test, and they want why test is there, to check whether this thing is present or absent, whether there is merit or demerit. So these kind of things are tested through a test. So why? What is this test? What is tested? So there are 3 stages. For example, prelims, mains, and personality test. Personality test. And then we will come, I nearly forgot what is the difference between those 3 things, because I told you already that I will be telling you the difference between how this syllabus is different from the UPSC syllabus, that I will discuss just after this. So what is tested? In prelims stage, only smartness is tested. Smartness plus common sense etc. These kind of features are tested in prelims exam. In mains exam, knowledge is tested. How much knowledge a person is having, that is tested. And in personality test, in third test, their personality, as the name suggests, their personality will be tested. A very basic thing, personality. I will discuss this through my experiences. I appeared for 2014 and 2015 interview. I couldn't qualify that. So after a long period of time, in 6 to 7 years while teaching and all these kind of things, I came to realize suddenly, when a student asked me that how should I prepare for interview? Give me just one or two lines. You tell me one or two lines which should act like a guiding strategy or guiding lines that how should I prepare for interview. Then I realized that what kind of mistakes we usually making in those kind of times, because at that time there was no system of, there was a system, but there was a lack of these mock interviews and all these kind of things in 2014, 2013, 14, 15, like this. So I will tell you one by one, just allow me. So in prelims exam, smartness is tested, common sense is tested, and all these kind of things are tested. How this is tested? I will tell you through an example. So let's take an example of a question. Example. So this question is from UPSC, and I think this question is from 2019 UPSC exam, CSE exam. And just see this question. The question says that consider the following statements. Consider the following statements related to, in regard to AIIB, Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank. Consider the following statements with regard to AIIB. And here are few statements they gave. That statement number 1 says that India is the largest stakeholder in AIIB. India is the largest stakeholder in AIIB, Asian. This is a bank in which multiple countries are members. This is an international bank in which there are multiple countries are members. So even if you know this thing or you don't know this thing, you can solve this question. I will tell you how. So India is the largest stakeholder. There are, second statement says, there are more than 80 member nations in AIIB, 80 member nations. And third statement says, I don't remember the sequence of the statements because it is a long old question. So, but the statements are more or less like this. India is the largest, there are more than 80 member nations in Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank. There are no participants. There are no participants. Oh no, I will change the statement. There are only participants from Asia only. Asia. Like this kind of statements were there. And then the options were there. For example, option A says 1 and 2 only. How many of them are correct? 1 and 2 only. B says 2 only. Option C is 1 and 3 only. And option D is all of the above. Suppose this kind of question is there. And usually you will see in prelims exam, they will put these kind of questions because now they are asking the question in the manner in which UPSC asked a question. To check the smartness, presence of mind, and all these kind of common sense in a person. Because first the civil servant requires to have those kind of things. Okay. So if I tell you, suppose this is the question, and now I will tell you some kind of tricks that whenever you come across some kind of extreme words are example, for example, we call these words largest, first, last, only, any, never. These are certain kinds of extreme words. So whenever you see these kind of words, you can simply just see that the statement will be wrong. Whenever UPSC wants to frame wrong answers, then they will use one of these things. So if I just gave you a simple trick that if UPSC wants to create a wrong statement, then one of the extreme words they will be putting here. And if you come across such kind of extreme words, then you can eliminate that kind of a statement. So just a very simple thing I told you. And now you checked it that there are in two of the options, there are extreme words present. And if you eliminated those two, then the answer will be 2 only. And in your answer key, you can just go and check that answer is 2 only. So how we solved it? We solved it through smartness, presence of mind. We did not solve it through that trick. We solved it through smartness, because what is happening here? Just see this. India is the largest stakeholder in AIIB. So by logic, if I try to solve this statement, then I will come across generally the country in a continent. Generally, those countries are the largest stakeholder who have a higher kind of GDP, who have a higher kind of national income, who are great, who have a great potential of manufacturing. Not potential, but they are manufacturing also. So you can see here that there are multiple countries who are doing well, better than India. For example, China. So China is doing very good in this particular section. And if in Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank, China will be also there. So in those kind of scenarios, you can see that India is not the largest stakeholder. So UPSC, whenever UPSC wanted to create a wrong statement, then they have used this kind of thing. So by logic also, this statement can be eliminated. Whenever there is China, it will be higher investment capacity, it will be having some kind of higher potential of manufacturing, it has a higher GDP than India, everything is higher than India. And now you will see if this question, there are more than 80 member nations. So this is a very obvious and generic type of statement, because 80 is a very low number whenever the entire globe is concerned, because everybody can become a member of AIIB. So this is a very generic question. Obviously correct statement. Obviously correct. So this has to be correct. And third statement, there are only participants from Asia. So if by logic, if you think by logic, then if there is a bank or there is an organization here, then it is always open for, at least in observer status, they allow everyone. Because the world is a globalized, it is on a single platform nowadays. So none of the organizations or none of the banks, which bank will not allow other than Asian countries to invest in themselves? Which bank will not allow? Just by logic think. Every bank wants money. Every bank wants investment from all the sides. So this is how a smartness is tested. And this smartness is, this parameter is tested for everybody, because the question is objective in nature. Objective. Objective means objective or objectivity. What this implies? Objectivity means the answer is fixed. Answer is one of these statements, options. So the answer is fixed, and now the candidate has to choose one of them. Every candidate or any candidate cannot add his option in E. Means the answer is fixed. So objectivity means the object is fixed despite of the fact that however how many persons come across this kind of object. So it is a single object in which the answer is fixed. But if it is subjective in nature, then the things go a different way. So first we understood that in prelims exam, they will check the basic smartness, basic presence of mind and things related to this memory also, because in some questions there will be memory based questions also. You cannot solve those questions from a smartness, because there will be certain factual questions related to articles, related to amendments, related to some kind of date, related to some kind of event. So those are some kind of memory based questions also, and that will be checked in your first stage. So while you are preparing for prelims exam, you must be clear that at this stage, my smartness, my presence of mind and my common sense will be checked at this stage. So that is why this is an elimination round, in which the person who is lacking these kind of traits will be eliminated. Because it is the most basic thing which a civil services aspirant must be having, must possess. So are you getting it? So in prelims exam, this thing is tested. Now, suppose there are 1 lakh people, because in UPSC there will be more number of people, and in a state also there will be not so many people will not be applying, but roughly for the sake of calculation I am using this number. So for example, if 1 lakh people applied in prelims exam, then how many persons enter in mains exam, or how many people are qualified in prelims exam? That depends on total number of vacancies. I will tell you how. For example, the total number of vacancies this year is suppose 200. Then as per the formula applied by UPSC and certain state PCS exams, 600 multiplied by 3, they will call for interview. Means if the total vacancy is 200, then in interview, they will take the interview of 600 students, 200 into 3. And if they are calling 600 students for interview, for every seat there will be 3 candidates that will be interviewed. So if there are interviews of 600 students, then again multiply by 3. These many kinds of students, 1800 students will be writing mains exam. Okay. So the number of students who are writing mains exam are actually clearing this prelims stage. So in that case, if the total number of vacancy is 200 and they use the formula of multiplication by 3 times formula, then out of 1 lakh students, 100 means 1800 students will be writing mains exam. And the marks of this 1800th student will become the cutoff of this year. Suppose he has scored 100 marks in paper 1 and paper 2 any marks, because that is qualifier in nature, CSAT is qualifier. So paper 2 is not counting here. So in paper 1, suppose they have scored 100 out of 200, the 1800th student, then 100 becomes the cutoff that year, cutoff marks. And all the students, all the remaining 1799 students have their score more than either 100 or more than 100. Are you getting me or not? So this is the formula. Now these 1800 students came here to apply for this mains exam. You can see there is a significant reduction in the, because this is the elimination round, and all the students who are lacking some basic, means either they are not preparing well or they have certain kind of different kind of things associated with their life. So they are not preparing well, they will be eliminated, and those who are seriously preparing, they will be called for mains exam. So here there is a competition. And now the mains exam will test knowledge. So these 1800 students are allowed to write. They are not allowed to write, because if 1 lakh students are writing, then the copy checking, the copy evaluation will be given for all the 1 lakh students. And some non-deserving students who have not actually prepared, some have filled the form just to for the sake of entertainment, just to go and visit how this MPSC conducts exam, just to see that they have filled the form. And now they are also allowed to write mains. So they will write here, माने आलतू फालतू चीज वो लिख देंगे उसके अंदर, उसका कोई मतलब नहीं बनेगा. And they will be, their copy will also be evaluated. So it is simply a wastage of time. And that is why this is a screening exam. This prelims exam is conducted. That is why the non-serious aspirants are getting rejected at the first stage itself. Now come to mains exam. And here they will check the knowledge. So every person will read, every student will be reading, and they have possessed certain kind of knowledge. So they will be given subjective questions. Here objective questions are not given, because subjective questions allow every kind of person will be writing in their own way. So the commission here at this stage wants to see what is the thinking process, how is the analytical ability, and what is their intellectualism, how intellectuals they have become. These things will be tested here. And it will reflect, your preparation will be reflecting, your attitude will be reflecting in your answers. So here, that knowledge will be tested. And once these two things are done, then only the personality is to be checked. But some students by mistake, like including me, while going for interview or while going for personality test, they always focus on this knowledge part. Means in interview, their whole focus is to answer all the questions related to general studies. I will come to the syllabus. What is general studies? I will tell you just after this. But their whole focus is to answer the questions from general studies. They don't want to miss any single question. But here, personality cannot be judged on the basis of how much knowledge of general things a person is having. This is not how personality is judged. How personality is judged? That how a student performs or what kind of decision a person takes in adverse situations. So how this stage, just I will tell you one example that how the personality test is conducted. For example, they asked few questions related to general studies, current affairs, Supreme Court judgments, news, etc. to a person. And that person, that particular student is very well read. So he has answered all of the questions and very accurate answers he is giving. So once the board is there, board will consist of 5 members. Generally in state PCS there are 3 members, but in UPSC there are 5 members. One psychologist is also there. So generally this is happening in interviews. So what will happen? Just when the board realizes that the person in front of them is very well read, he is a very smart guy, smart girl, then they will try to put them under pressure. And how that will happen? They will ask some kind of random questions, because there are infinite number of questions in which I cannot answer, which you cannot answer, which board members cannot answer. There are infinite number of such questions. And they will ask one such kind of impossible question to that person. And that person obviously will not be able to reply. So if a smart guy, if a well-read person is not able to answer few questions, then his mental state changes. So from confidence to demoralization. So that is an adverse situation for a person. And now they will be asking, because once the person is not able to answer, then he is thinking in his mind that, oh my God, my interview is gone. I cannot qualify this, because I could not answer these 4 or 5 questions. So now he is busy in thinking all of these things. That means it is an adverse situation. And now they will ask certain questions related to ethics, certain questions related to ethical dilemmas to that person. And since that person is already sitting in a very adverse situation, he will not be able to answer those ethical dilemma questions in a very, I can say, in a rational manner. And whenever that happens, that automatically tells the personality is not very strong. That personality is weak. Despite of the fact that this person is having so much of knowledge, he is coming from an IIT background or IIM background, but still the personality is not good, or personality is not adequate, because the civil services or the civil servants will be facing challenges related to this in their entire career, in which they have always to take some kind of decisions in adverse situations. And if you are not good at it, if you are not good at handling pressure, then you are not a perfect person to become a civil servant, despite of the fact that you are having so much of knowledge. So here, different things, different traits are tested at every stage. And once they find a person that this person is very calm, they ask, there are tons of example in which the board asked so many questions related to GS, general studies, to an aspirant. And he was not able to perfectly answer any of them, but still he was selected. Why? Because in that adverse situation in which he is not able to answer any of the question, that person remained calm, quiet. So this kind of personality they require. Because you can see here, knowledge is already tested. They are not calling a person sitting in Delhi. So the interview will be conducted in Delhi. So, and if you are appearing for this exam, so they will never call a person from northeast area, Meghalaya, Tripura, all these places, and he will be spending 4 to 5,000 rupees. So they will never call a person from this far distance, you come to Delhi, you sit with me half an hour, and then I will judge you on the basis of knowledge you are having. They will never do that. So try to understand the nature of these three stages which you will be facing. So they are calling here the person only to check the personality, because knowledge, smartness, everything is already tested, only the personality is left. And personality means how strong character he is having. So how to check the character in just a half an hour? Because both the aspirant as well as the board members, they are meeting for the first time and most probably for the last time. So how to check that in half an hour? So they will use these kind of tricks to check your internal personality, how stronger you are from within yourself. So these three things are tested in your basically civil services exam, whether it's MPSC or UPSC. Okay, so if there is any doubt, you can ask here. I am just telling you the basic things before you start your preparation. Preparation is very easy. That is only the syllabus. I will tell you a very simple trick. You will become a master of your syllabus today itself. Okay. So here we understood that these things are there. And now we just, by summarizing by summarizing this point itself, we can conclude that what kind of personality they are looking for. So they are looking for some kind of person who have a basic smartness. They are looking for a person who have amply very good kind of knowledge, and the personality should also be very strong. So they are looking for these persons. Clear? And if you are not having those kind of skill set, if you are not having that kind of knowledge, then you can acquire knowledge by studying the syllabus of the mains exam. If you are not having that kind of smartness, presence of mind, you can acquire that skill after preparing for this prelims exam. And if you are not having that kind of personality, then you can also prepare for this PT, personality test. You got it? So this is how we prepare for this exam. That is very, very easy. You just excuse me for a minute. I will come here again. Okay. So there was some kind of person who was knocking. Okay. So what we discussed here, that these two things, that how this exam will be conducted in 3 stages. Now coming to the syllabus. So this syllabus is also designed in such a manner so that the entire comprehensive, this is the evaluation of a very comprehensive kind of personality, because your personality or your knowledge base is of having a very different kind of dimensions. If a person is coming from an engineering background, he is having a different set of knowledge. A person coming from humanities background, he is having a different set of knowledge. A person coming from some other kind of background, maybe from physics, maybe from science, maybe from chemistry. So every person is having a different kind of knowledge base, a different kind of establishment in themselves. So there should be how this one single exam will check the knowledge base for every person. So this exam is designed in such a way that it should be, it must have to be a level playing field, even for an engineer, even for a management person, even for a person coming from humanities background. It has to be a level playing field. And that is why this syllabus is designed that it is even. No person, irrespective of their background, can come here and just take some kind of advantage of this syllabus. No person will be there. So it is a level playing field for everyone. And in order to create such kind of syllabus, I am just talking about a very different aspect of this syllabus. You will come across syllabus in multiple, there are tons of lectures in YouTube, available in YouTube, in which you can just see and how the syllabus is given for UPSC or MPSC exam. They will discuss all these kind of things. But I am not going to discuss those things. take a different aspect, ask a different question for this syllabus. What should be that question? You should be asking that why this syllabus? You ask this question. I will tell you roughly that what is in the syllabus so that we can ask this question that why this particular syllabus is given. So I will write here that there in the syllabus you will be coming across broadly 10 subjects, 10 different subjects, and then we will ask the question why these 10 subjects. So first is your history, art and culture, and they are arranged in different GS studies, general studies paper, GS1, GS2, GS3. I am just writing whole and soul that these are the 10 to 11 papers, different kind of papers which you have to study here to clear this exam. History, art and culture. Second is geography. Third is society, Indian society. That is more precisely features of Indian society. So this is given in General Studies 1 of Mains syllabus, GS1. Then you have things like, this is fourth one. Fourth one is your polity, and we can call it polity and constitution, both, because they are two different subjects, but they are of the same nature. So polity and constitution. Fifth is your international relations, and then sixth is your governance, and seventh is social justice. Social justice. Because society will come everywhere. I will tell you why. So GS1, GS2, and then we have different papers like 8th Indian economy, 9th science and technology. Always remember science, by the meaning of science I will name it general science, physics, chemistry, biology, zoology, all these are general science. Technology is different. Technology is application of these scientific principles. So there is technology. Then 10th is environmental ecology. Always remember this is environmental ecology, not environment and ecology. Then 11th is disaster management, but disaster management is a subset of geography, environmental ecology. This is read everywhere, but still I am writing here disaster management. And 12th I will write internal security. These are all applied kind of papers. Internal security. These are not subjects. These are simply applications, different kind of applications. So this makes it GS3. And then we have GS4, that is ethics or philosophical kind of paper. That is the ethics paper, that is GS4. So I am not writing that ethics paper for now. I am simply writing these 11, 12 papers. And one person, now I will ask a question that why this syllabus is given. Why? So now I will try to explain that why this syllabus is given and what is this syllabus. So just be patient for some time that why this syllabus is given. Now let's try to understand in a very different manner, which I think you will have never seen such kind of things in your life till now. So I will answer this question now, why this syllabus, okay? And let's see how I try to answer it, whether you understand it or not, why this syllabus. Now if you come across your graduation paper, it must be from some certain kind of discipline. That means in the world, in the entire history of humankind, we have developed 5 different kind of academic disciplines. The entire human, whatever we are studying, that will come from a discipline. So for the humanity, there are 5 academic disciplines. So I will write those academic disciplines. There are 5 academic disciplines in which you will be studying any one of those disciplines. What are these 5 academic disciplines? So first one is humanities. Humanities. And then what is this discipline? What is this about? Humanities. Humanities means whatever related to humans you will be studying here. Whether it's human history, you will be studying here. Subjects like human history, subjects like geography, subjects, anything related to humans. Humans interact with earth, that is geography. So anything related to human will be studied here in humanities paper. Then we have different paper called as arts. And generally what happens, we call both arts and humanities as a single discipline, but that is not there. Arts is a different. In arts, we will be studying about fine arts, we will be studying about linguistics. So these kind of things are studied in arts papers, arts academic discipline. Then we come to third academic discipline, that is natural sciences. Natural sciences. In this academic discipline, there are large number of papers here, sociology, politics, everything is there related to humans. And here also everything related to arts, some kind of arts which we have developed over the period of time. Natural sciences means study of nature, natural laws. For example, why earth rotates from west to east. This is a natural law. Why in a space everything is rotating or everything is revolving around something. Why this is happening? Or why there is a gravity? Why there is E is equal to mc square at quantum level? Why this thing is there? So these are all natural laws which are discovered by humans. Natural law is created by the creator, but that is discovered by humans. So those natural laws are discussed here or studied here in this academic discipline, natural science. So physics, chemistry, biology, zoology, everything which is related to nature or natural laws will be studied here. So if a person pursues this academic discipline, then he will be studying any one of these subjects. Now come to fourth discipline. This fourth discipline is formal science. Formal science. And here it is the study of form or shape. This is related to forms or shape and shapes. Why certain thing is of that shape? Why certain thing is of this form? So this is called as formal science, a study of forms and shapes. So here you can see subjects like, these subjects actually don't exist. Their physical existence is not there. So here you can see subjects like mathematics. Here you can see subjects like logic, reasoning, arithmetic. All these subjects are in formal science. So 4 academic disciplines, and now comes the fifth one. The fifth academic discipline is called as applied. I am writing here. The fifth one I will write here. Okay. Now this is the fifth academic discipline, which is called as, what I said, applied sciences. And applied sciences means application of all these knowledge into a real world problem, to solve a real world problem or something like that. So everything related to technology is studied here. Means technology, engineering, medical, management, means everything which is coming with a applied kind of knowledge will be studied here. So there are 5 academic disciplines which humanities have produced till now. There is no 6th discipline. So everything is covered into this. Politics, be it history, be it everything, be it engineering, tech, everything is covered in these 5 academic disciplines. Just think of a person who has studied everything from these 5 disciplines. Just think of a person, I am not talking about the graduation. He might have done graduation in this, but because of interest, he has studied formal science, natural science, arts, humanities, applied science. What you call that person? Just give me an answer. By what term you want to call that person? So any person, suppose there is a person, and suppose this is you, and you have, by interest, you have studied this also, you studied this also, not in entirety, but still you are aware of these things. You have studied something from applied science, you have studied something from humanity, you have studied something from you have studied from everything. So from all the academic disciplines, you are going to study. then what you call that person? That person is called as generalist. Not journalist, this is generalist. Generalist. And why this person is called as generalist? Because he has done a general studies. He has not done a specialized study in any of these fields. Rather, he has pursued a general studies. You go in some kind of company and just see the rank of a general manager. So what is a general manager? He is the boss of all departments. There will be some kind of product manager, there will be some kind of quality manager, there will be some kind of execution manager, planning manager. So they are a specialist in their departments, but the general manager is the boss of all the departments. So here you have not become a specialist in applied science, you are not an engineer. You may be an engineer, but due to interest you have studied everything, so now you will not be called as an engineer. You are not a humanities background person, you are not a geographer, geologist. You are not a person who is doing fine arts or linguistics, language, the study of languages. But rather, you have done everything. This is called as general studies. And just look at your syllabus. The syllabus we discussed here, I will just zoom it out and then see this syllabus. Whether this syllabus resembles this general studies or not. Just see it. So now the subjects which I have written here, they are from these all 5 academic disciplines. And that is the reason why they are called as GS, general studies. It is not general knowledge, it is general studies. That means you should be a person who has interest in everything. You have interest in society, what is happening around me. You have an interest in politics, what is happening in the political section. You have interest in the administration, you have interest in the science and tech, you have interest in the astronomy, astrophysics, you have interest in the art and culture because art is also there. You are a person who is understanding governance also. You are a person who is understanding AI also. So the person of this kind who is having a general idea, who have an interest in understanding everything around him, is a person suitable for civil services job. A person who has a very deep knowledge, maybe in economy, but he has no interest in other subjects, then despite of the fact that he has a doctoral degree in economy, he is not a perfect person to become a civil servant. The perfect person to become a civil servant is a person who has interest in everything around him. He keeps his eye open all the time. And why this person is suitable for civil services job? Because the nature of this job is you don't know that what kind of situation arises, what kind of adverse situation you will be facing as an administrator. Because administrator will be looking after everything, every aspect in his district. This is the administrator. Suppose this is the administrator. Now he is the boss of that district. He has to understand the geography of his region. He has to understand the culture of his people. He might be coming from Tamil Nadu, but he should be understanding a person from the sentiments of a person from Northeast. He might be a person coming from Northeast and he must be understanding the sentiment of a South Indian person. You got it? So, irrespective of his origin, wherever he become the administrator of a certain particular geographical area, he must be understanding, he must be aware of that geographical area. That, oh, these people are living here, they have this kind of sentiment, they have religious sentiment, they have some social inclination, they have some political inclination, they are associated with these kind of old traditions. Everything you should be understanding. And then the geography of that region, that your land, suppose your land, what kind of minerals this area is having, what kind of mineral potential this area is having, how much forest is in this area, how much mountains are in this area, the mountains are of which category, The plateaus are of which category? That means only a person who has interest in studying everything can become an administrator. We cannot place a scientist here. We cannot place an engineer here or a doctor here. No. We want a person as our administrator who has a comprehensive, who has a holistic understanding of his area. He must be understanding the technological developments in his region. He must be understanding the old or the traditions we have talked about in the culture section. He must be understanding any kind of internal security threat in his region, security threats. He must be understanding, he must be having a good understanding of, he must be an ethical person also. So you can clearly see that what kind of person is required for a, what kind of person is suitable to become a civil servant. And that is why the syllabus is given in this manner. Understood? So I hope I made this point clear that why this syllabus is given. Because this syllabus covers the entire academic disciplines. These are 5 disciplines. This syllabus covers this entire discipline holistically in a very, very precise way. And that is why in the beginning I said that this syllabus is level playing field for everyone. A person coming from geography, he might be knowing geography, but he may not be understanding society. A person who has well read international relations, he might be not understanding the science and technology. So this syllabus is a level playing field for a person coming from any background. And you have got multiple answers here. What is the first answer? That what kind of person, what answers we got here? Let's summarize what we learned till now. That why this syllabus is given in this way. I will simply write why this syllabus. And meanwhile, while discussing this, we came to a conclusion, we understood that what kind of person is suitable for this job, Now we came to a different conclusion also, that once we understood what kind of person is suitable for this job, then we can prepare it accordingly. That if we are not such a person, then we should become such person. We should be taking interest in all the activities around us. We should be studying newspaper, at least 2 newspapers in morning. One local newspaper, another is international, national newspaper, like the Hindu, Indian Express, all these kind of newspapers are there. You can buy digital version. So one newspaper which covers the national news, important national or international also, that covers international news also, and one local newspaper. Because if you are growing up in certain area, it is your responsibility to know about your area. So that is why the third thing, which is still I have not discussed here, but you automatically got the answer. Third thing, that was the question I asked just in the beginning of the class. What is that question? That how MPSC will be different from UPSC. If the syllabus is same, then still there will be some difference. Otherwise, it becomes UPSC itself. Are you getting it or not? If same thing is there in both the exams, then the UPSC students can also be recommended from Meghalaya or Tripura or Manipur, because they all have same syllabus. But how MPSC will be different from UPSC? And that is the answer you just got here when I told you that you should be reading 2 newspapers. Because if you are appearing for Meghalaya Public Service Commission, Assam Public Service Commission, any commission in Northeast, any commission in Jammu Kashmir, any state public service commission, then minimum 33% questions will be from that state. So despite of the fact that the syllabus is same, but still how MPSC will be different? That in this case 33% of the questions minimum, which I have seen till now, my experience, I have taken classes in more than 16 states and I have seen more than 12 to 13 state PCS students. So everywhere minimum 33% questions will be from that state. 33% question will be from Meghalaya. And that is the reality. Meghalaya. If it is Assam, then 33% questions will be from Assam. Both in prelims and mains. Both in prelims and mains. And also in interview. Because even if you are appearing for UPSC exam, then in UPSC interviews also 33% questions come from your district or your city, the place you are born and brought up. Because if you are going to become a civil servant, that automatically means you are a person who has interest in everything around me. And if you are not knowing properly about your own area, then how it is expected that you are going to learn about the entire country or the entire state? It will not be a very good thing to not know about your area. So that is why I told you that 2 newspapers, and here we will cover 33%, whatever it is in Meghalaya, the geography of Meghalaya, the culture of Meghalaya, the food and festival of Meghalaya, the tribals of Meghalaya, how the tribes are there, what are their tribal practices, are there some kind of tribal administration or governance. Everything you have to study here in this segment. So these are the Meghalaya, the general things about Meghalaya everyone should be knowing if he is going to attempt for MPSC exam. And this course is exclusively for this exam. So there will be classes for Meghalaya only. Not in Meghalaya language, because we don't know the language of Meghalaya. We can speak either in English or in Hindi. So a mixture of both the languages we can speak, you can easily understand. Because if we stay in Meghalaya also, because if a person stays anywhere, if I stay in Meghalaya also, then it is my duty to learn the language of Meghalaya. Just now you can see there are debates or disputes or conflicts related to language. It is a very basic thing. There should not be any kind of debate, because if a person goes in Maharashtra, there is a debate between Hindi speaking and Maharashtra speaking, Marathi speaking people. And I always tell in the class that if you are going somewhere, if we get a job in suppose Maharashtra, then it is your duty to learn the local language. That is Marathi language. If a person from Maharashtra is shifted to Jharkhand, UP, Bihar, then his duty is to learn their language first. If a person goes to Meghalaya or Northeast, it is his duty, it is an obligation to learn that language. So whenever you are in Labasna means if you are in UPSC segment, your training will be in Labasna, Lal Bahadur Shastri. So whenever you are in Labasna, and suppose your cadre has been given Karnataka, you are in South India, then they will teach you South Indian languages, whichever cadre you are there, they will teach you this language here. If you are going to Northeast, then they will teach you the language first. So language is not a barrier for us, because if I stay in Meghalaya, then it is becoming my duty to interact with the local people in their language and to learn as fast as possible. Because whenever you try to learn their language, the people will also respect you. And if you are coming in civil services, then you have to be a very pragmatic, practical person. Obviously, you are going somewhere, you will not be knowing their language. So whenever you go there, you try to learn their language. They will be very happy with you. And you try to disrespect their language, they will beat you. Simple. So these are very simple things. Okay. And you will be understanding here everything. So in just few, I think around 1 hour, we discussed these basic things, and then we will come to how we are going to cover this syllabus. Now the question arises, and these questions are not addressed in institutes. If you go and take admission in institutes, these are the questions which are not addressed there. In the orientation class, they will be discussing here and say, because I have also taken coaching. I have for the past 7 years, I was teaching somewhere else. Then I started this LearnPro and everything. So what is the basic problems I need to address first? What is the basic problem? Just a very simple problem, that there are so many subjects, and which subject should I start? Means if I am going to study 10 to 12 papers, different papers that they are from different academic disciplines, what is the best way to start? Which is the best subject to start my preparation? So I will just give you a logic. I am not going to tell you which paper you should start. I will just give you a basic logic that how this GS syllabus is covered. Then you will automatically understand which paper you should be starting. Okay, just in a story format I will tell you. So just for the sake of understanding, let's again understand the syllabus in a different way. Syllabus understanding in a different way, in a very scientific manner, different way. And what is this way? It is thinking out of the box, thinking smartly that how I am going to cover the syllabus. I will try to do it in a smart way, and which I am going to tell you. So let's make a line. Okay. And this line is about, this line is the line of humanity. Whatever humankind has developed till today, this line represents that entire development. For example, the extreme right end of this line is 2025, the time where we are talking and everything. This is 2025, this year. And the extreme left represents the beginning, the far end, our entire past. And this depends on ourselves that how far in past we want to go back. For example, if you go 5000 years back, then you came here in around 3000 BC. If you went 5000 years back, then what will happen? You came in 3000 BC. And if you are living in 3000 BC, then you will be you will not be able to see any kind of a smartphone, any kind of modern devices, this kind of houses here. What you will be observing, that certain people are using bullock carts, and it depends कि which area you are living. अगर आप South India में रह रहे हैं, if you are living in South India, then you are still Neolithic. You are just practicing, trying to domesticate the wild variety of grasses to perform the agriculture. You are doing all these kind of things. You got it? So you are in 3000 BC, you are doing all these kind of things. Suppose you want me to take yourself far in back in time, then what will happen? Suppose we went 10 lakh years ago. This is 10 lakh BC. And we have come this far. What you are going to find here? This is around 10 lakh means 1 million BC. What you will find here? Again you will find something, because the earth is there and the geographical features like mountains, plains, plateau, rivers, everything is there. Different kind of species are there. There may be some kind of modification, but there are species. There may be certain kind of human species also, but they are not like us. You can see Australopithecus is there, you can see Neanderthals is there, you can see Denisovans are there, different kind of Homo species, but not Homo sapien species. And you are witnessing this period of time. What happens if you go much more back in time? You went to 6.5 crore years back, BC. Then you will find that a giant asteroid is coming and hitting the earth and wiping out the dinosaur, and that happened around 65 million years ago when the dinosaurs wiped out. So just like I told you, this is a line in which you can go back in time. So how much you want to go back in time, that depends on you. So for the sake of simplicity and avoid confusion, I want to go as far as back in time when the time starts, time takes birth. Because there was certain point where time was born. Before that, time was not there. Time as a physical quantity. So if we go 13.8 billion years in past, then you can see here, before this period, even the time doesn't exist. And this is the point where Big Bang starts. Big Bang theory, you have heard, the creation of universe starts. So here universe is shaped like this creation of universe is starting. And then you can see from today, if you go 4.5 billion years in past, then you will see that sun has also formed. Sun as a star has formed, and there are 8 planets forming around it, Earth being one of them. So that means there is formation of solar system and Earth. So now there are 2 subjects which will give you information of these things here. One subject is history, and one subject is geography. Means I am talking about the subjects from those list of 12 papers. Geography. So if you read history or either geography, you will be understanding all these kind of things. So first we understood bigger thing, that means formation of universe. Then we came to much smaller thing, from universe to solar system. From solar system, we don't want to study all the planets, we want to study Earth. So from solar system, bigger thing, to Earth. And on the Earth also, we don't want to discuss about every species. We want to discuss about human history, what humans did. So now you came down to humans. So this is how there is a descending order to it. And everything, this different kind of subjects will cover different aspects of it. So how we plan, that we plan like this, when humans came, means on this line, what is the date, what is the time period humans entered this entire line. So this date is roughly around 1.8 million BC. And the day humans entered, politics entered. The day humans came on this line, society entered, civilization entered, economy entered, science and tech entered. Everything is developed by humans. So everything you can study later. So now what is the sequence? Sequence is universe, then solar system, and then Earth. So up to this point, geography gives you knowledge. Then on this earth, it is our duty to learn about India. That means how India is, what is the basic features of India, that is Indian geography. You can learn this from geography also. And in India, we want to learn everything. And everything related to humans. So when we are studying India plus humans, how the humans are living in India, this will become history. And then there are much more number of things like politics, economy. And if the humans are there in India, there will be an Indian society formed by humans. You can go for society also. And then there are different papers. If these basic things are covered, then there are papers like science and tech, papers like internal security, disaster management. These are modern day concepts. So are you getting it? So what are the foundations of this study? If you are trying to study internal security, disaster management first, means you started your class or you started your journey with internal security and disaster management. Just think of what kind of background or what kind of foundation you will be making for your study. Because what we have to study? We have to study the entire humankind. We have to study this entire line from here to here. Everything in the universe till today. We have to study this. But if you started with the application part, these are small applications, internal security, these are disaster management, and all these kind of things. If you started with this basic thing, then you lost the venue to create a strong foundation. So what should be, according to you, you are free to choose any subject. But by logic, it appears that first we will study either history or geography. Because in this you will be getting a foundation that, oh, earth is formed like this, oh, humans did this. There will be a foundation. And then you can create a building by studying polity, by studying society, by studying everything you can do here. You got it? So our strategy will be to start with history first. Means this course will start because what is happening here, already we have covered everything. But that was in Hindi. That was the language was used, which I used. I think that it was more in Hindi. Hardly there was any term which I have discussed in English. So that is why we are again conducting this class, because we don't want you to not understand those kind of things and get confused over certain kind of peculiar terms. So you will be starting this in I think 80 to 90% in English, then 10% Hindi. You got it? And so let's conclude what we learned today. We learned everything. We have concluded most of the things. Now what will be our approach? Final approach. So final approach, it is very difficult to create a strategy. Always remember, it is very difficult to create strategies for state PCS exams and very easy to create a strategy for UPSC exam. UPSC exam is much easier. I will tell you the reason why. Because UPSC has, I am writing UPSC, I am writing MPSC or any other exam. UPSC has a fixed schedule. And once everything has a fixed schedule, for example, I tell you that we will start this class for MPSC Civil Services exam tomorrow. If I say this, but I don't tell you the time and you are eager to attend the live class, then how you are going to do it? Whole day you will be sitting like this. Is it practical, possible? No. But the MPSC exam or any other state PCS exam is of that nature. Here they will tell you that, okay, there will be notification. But when? We don't know it. If the notification came, then they will tell you there will be form fill up date, and even the form fill up date will keep on extending for certain period of time. If the form fill up happens, then they will go on for the prelims exam date, anticipated date. And that will keep on increasing, decreasing every time. Means the state PCS is not of that caliber. Every state doesn't have that caliber to conduct examinations on a fixed schedule. Even though they will give you certain kind of calendar, but that also may be violated. That calendar can easily violate, or that calendar can change overnight. But whenever UPSC gives the calendar 1 year earlier, then they will stick to it. Whatever date they have given, they have such a strong machinery behind this that they will conduct on the same day. That is why I told you, if something is fixed, then we can easily create the strategy for this exam, because we know everything that this will happen on this day. But in MPSC or any state PCS exam, it is very difficult because the schedule is not fixed. Schedule is not fixed. When there will be vacancy, it is also not fixed. That is the problem. Anyway, so whatever we have the problem, what is our final approach? So final approach is, let's say we have 12 months. 12 months, roughly. I don't know when they will put the notification in between. Suppose just we studied for 3 months and then there will be a notification. So we will get disturbed, because now we are in a hurry to start it in a different manner, because even if you have studied for 3 months, you will be try to appear in that exam. So you will get disturbed. And in that disturbance, suppose on the examination day or before 1 week before, they will announce that the exam will be conducted 6 months later. Now your whole preparation is gone. Because now you are disturbed, you disturbed your strategy pattern, and then the exam has been postponed, gone. So this is the problem faced by students across the country. in different state PCS. So suppose for example, if we have 12 months, then what is our strategy? For the 10 months, initial 10 months, because I cannot write the exact date now. So August, if we write August, September, October, November and December. These are 5 months, December, January, 6 months. And then February, March, April and then May. So these are now 10 months. I think around 5 plus 4, 5 plus 5, 10 months. So up to May, we can cover this syllabus. Even before that, we can cover this syllabus. Because from August to September, we will be starting with history, because this is the most lengthiest subject and the most foundational subject. Without knowledge of history, you cannot go for anything. Because you can see the entire academic discipline I just discussed earlier. See this. In all these subjects, you are studying history only. In environmental science, you are not, environmental ecology, you are not going to study future or present. You are studying history only. Just the questions are changing, just the nature is changing, just the quest is changing. History means quest of the past. So here your quest is to know about the environment. What were the practices earlier and how things are happening now. We discuss history only. Everything, society, we discuss history only. Just the question we ask from the past has changed. You got it? So that is why history is the mother of all the papers here. Without studying history, you cannot. Without understanding of history as a subject, you cannot clear it. So now this is our approach, that history will be taking around 120 days. Not 120 days, because here we are providing you the notes. You are not supposed to write in the class, because I am not here to go on dictating. I am taking a book and then dictating you and you are writing some. That is wastage of time. I will give you that book simply. You read by yourself. So that by doing that, we don't kill your time here through dictations. We will provide you that PDF. You can keep it there and we will be discussing every class like this. So we will be covering it very fast. Anyway, history, even history, it will take around 40 to 45 lectures. It will take modern history and everything, it will take time, 40, 45, 50 lectures. And then we will start with geography. Again, geography will take time, because these are the foundation subjects. So it will minimum take 30 lectures. And then we will go for other subjects. So initially, I am just giving you few things here, that up to this 10 month, we will be covering, we have already covered majority of this, means all the subjects. Syllabus will be completed here. Because after this, there will be geography, there will be polity or economy options, polity or either economy, you can start with anything. And then I will come again, then take environment and science, take both. This thing. And then we will, from here to here, all the major subjects are taken. And then we can start here disaster management, then we can go for internal security, then we can finish it. And in the end, we will study ethics. Okay, so this is the 10-month schedule, that how we are going to finish it. You have to give time, because the things which come with a proper quality requires time. If you are getting impatient, then this is not your game which you have to play. This is a game of patience. This is a marathon. You have to take it, consume every syllabus bite by bite. You cannot come and eat everything at once. Every day you come here and build a single concept. That is how this exam is getting, you will clear this exam. Single concept, day by day. You got it? So this is our approach, final approach, in which we will start with these subjects, history, and all these subjects will come. It will be announced, and then we will provide you recorded class plus lectures. Recorded class, live class plus recorded lectures, both of this plus notes. And once we come to, whenever if the date is announced that we come to know that after 2 months you will have a prelims exam, then we will schedule it, we will reschedule everything, and then we will go for mentoring for prelims exam, in which we will be producing some kind of test series for this prelims exam. Okay, test series plus previous year questions we will solve here. Everything we will try to take you in a mode in which you will be solving multiple choice questions very easily. So that is our approach, and similar thing we will do for the mains exam also. But these two things, the mentorship for mains exam and mentorship for prelims exam, can only be done after the announcement of a particular date. Because without date, if these things finish, that in 1 month it will be finishing. So what you will do after that 1 month? Okay, so while doing this kind of practice, you should be coming in the real test. That is our strategy, and that should be the way in which it has to be done. Means you practice something, then you face the actual test. If in a different scenario you practice something, then there is a gap of 2 months, and then you are facing the real exam, then that is useless. Okay, so you have to be in practice, then immediately you have to take the exam. There should not be a very long gap in between that, because you are already cooled off. So we don't want you to cool off. And if you have any doubt, you can ask here. So this session ends here. We have discussed the most basic things, our approach, our syllabus, and then we will start with history in the next class. In that also we will discuss about these things, that how the universe formed, how everything, the history of everything. So if you have any doubt, you can ask me here. Anyone, if any doubt? Okay, so I will see you tomorrow. I will give you the schedule, and the schedule will be, it will automatically go through the notification on your application. If you have downloaded it, try to download the application from the Play Store, so that you can get the notification when the class is scheduled, when the content is added, everything will be notified, automatically notified to you, so that you can be aware that what is happening in your course. You got it? And if there is some certain kind of major announcement, then I will call you personally, or I will text you personally on the same number. But if that is not the case, then we will be in touch properly. You will keep on writing. I will be providing assignment. I forgot about the assignment part also. So whenever we finish a particular topic, they will provide you assignments. And with these assignments, if you solve these assignments, we will be providing you a model answer also, in which for every question there will be 2 ways in which you can write the answer. For every question there will be 2 alternative answers in the model answer. Not only the answer, there will be answer, but there will be guidelines how to write this answer. That is the model answer we will be providing with each assignment. And if you tell me that we want some kind of discussion that how we are going to write this answer, then we will discuss the assignments also in the class. And besides that, there will be answer writing classes. So once we finish this, there will be answer writing classes first. Then you will be given assignments, and then you will write the answer. Got it? Okay. Okay, so see you tomorrow, or maybe just I will clarify. Whenever the class will be scheduled, you will get notified that what time tomorrow we will schedule this class.